Hi everyone, we would like to share some amazing news with you. The IRS has recently announced that qualifying recipients of Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or VA benefits would start receiving much-needed $2,000 stimulus checks on Monday. This is amazing because it indicates that many people who are currently struggling financially will soon receive assistance. We'll go over everything you require in this video. Let's start by discussing who is eligible to get these payments. You're probably qualified for this stimulus check if you receive any of the perks we previously discussed. It's intended to offer some additional assistance during these trying times. Let's talk about the distribution of these funds now. The IRS will send your benefits using the same way that they use now. Thus, you will receive your stimulus payment by direct deposit if that is how you typically receive your money. If you receive benefits through mail, look for a check or debit card that has been prepaid in your mailbox. However, why is this money so crucial? That can, however, make a significant difference for a lot of people when it comes to paying bills, purchasing groceries, or meeting other necessities. It also gives the government a chance to assist citizens in getting back on their feet and demonstrate support. We want to make sure you are aware of what to expect and are ready. Thus, we'll also offer some advice on how to ensure a seamless receipt of your payment. And we'll link you to the appropriate resource for assistance if you encounter any problems or have any queries. The IRS is finally revealing the specifics of the new round of $2,000 stimulus checks that will be sent to millions of Americans after months of waiting and conjecture. This time, beneficiaries of Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and VA benefits are the only ones who will receive the payments. The favorable tidings? The money might be in eligible recipients' bank accounts as early as this Monday, April 14th. This indicates that much-needed financial respite is approaching, perfectly timed for the holidays. But just who is eligible to get these $2,000 payments? What is the plan for allocating the funds? What are the anticipated uses of the monies for the recipients? We'll break down everything you need to know in this extensive guide. For the past year, Washington has been engaged in intense debate about the possibility of increasing direct payments to Americans. There were continuous talks about issuing a second wave of stimulus checks after the first round of $1,200 stimulus checks were distributed in early 2020 as part of the CARES Act. But because Democrats and Republicans couldn't agree on the specifics, these conversations ran into difficulties. While some politicians said the $2,000 checks were too expensive, others supported the idea. A compromise on a $600 stimulus payment was not achieved until the end of 2020. However, a lot of people believed that this was insufficient, particularly for disadvantaged groups who depend on fixed incomes, such as Social Security and VA recipients. There was still pressure for more significant relief as 2021 went on. The American Rescue Plan, which authorized a third round of $1,400 stimulus checks, was signed into law in March 2021. However, many retirees and people with disabilities were not eligible for these payments, which were primarily allocated for people who made less than a particular amount of money. The $1,400 check's narrow purview prompted further demands for committed assistance for Social Security, SSDI, and VA recipients. Congress eventually enacted legislation in late 2023 to give this group a $2,000 direct payment after months of discussion and squabbling. For those who qualify, the additional $2,000 stimulus checks constitute a substantial cash boost. It's crucial to remember that eligibility is determined by a person's position rather than their filing status or household income. Therefore, the full $2,000 payment would still be due to you even if you are a Social Security beneficiary with a high salary. Furthermore, qualifying receivers will immediately receive the funds. You don't have to apply or complete any further paperwork. To distribute the money, the IRS will make use of the data they currently have on file. The first round of $2,000 stimulus checks is scheduled to be distributed by the IRS on Monday, April 14, 2024. The first batch of beneficiaries will be those whose benefits from Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or the VA are immediately paid into their bank accounts. The payments for individuals who receive their benefits through a direct express debit card will be made by Friday, April 19th, a few days later. The IRS predicts that paper checks, which will be the last to be distributed, will begin to show up in mailboxes by the end of April. The organization warns that the processing and delivery of all check payments could take several weeks. It is important to note that depending on your particular benefit program, the timing of the payments may change slightly. Payments for Social Security are normally received on the 3rd of the month, SSI on the 1st, and SSDI on different Wednesdays. These current payment schedules will be adhered to by the $2,000 checks. For instance, on Monday, April 15th, Social Security beneficiaries who typically receive their payments on the 3rd of the month should anticipate seeing the $2,000 stimulus in their accounts. Payday for SSI beneficiaries is scheduled for Monday, April 1st. It is important to realize that these stimulus checks totaling $2,000 are being given out only once. This is the only time that this group of beneficiaries would receive a direct payment, unlike in the past when checks were given out often. There is a clear provision in the statute enabling the checks that no further or ongoing payments will be given. Therefore, rather than serving as a continuous addition to their normal benefits, this money is a one-time financial boost, so recipients should budget and plan appropriately. There's no better time for many recipients of Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and VA benefits than when a windfall of $2,000 arrives. Over the course of the last year, these individuals have witnessed a gradual decline in their purchasing power due to the greatest rates of inflation in decades. Jane Smith, a retired Social Security beneficiary, stated, "This extra money is going to make a real difference for so many people living on fixed incomes. With the cost of groceries, utilities, and healthcare skyrocketing, an extra $2,000 is going to go a long way." According to studies, most people receiving Social Security and VA benefits want to utilize their stimulus payments for necessities. The $2,000 checks are most frequently intended to be used to somewhat offset the increased cost of basics. According to a recent estimate, the cost of living has increased by more than 8% for the average Social Security beneficiary just in the last year. John Hernandez, a 72-year-old SSDI recipient, stated, "I'm already stretching my Social Security check to the max just to pay my rent and buy food. I'm paying my electricity and grocery bills with the additional money I have. It truly is a lifesaver." The stimulus funds will alleviate the burden of other critical costs that have experienced a sharp increase in addition to basic living expenses. This covers things like home heating and cooling costs, prescription medication copays, and health insurance premiums. The $2,000 checks are also frequently intended to be used to settle outstanding obligations. In order to pay for growing expenses in recent years, a large number of seniors and handicapped people have accrued credit card debt or other loans. "I had to rely on my credit card more and more to make ends meet," said Social Security recipient Maria Rodriguez, 65, receiver. "In an effort to pay off that balance, I'm paying my credit card with this $2,000 right now. It will be quite relieving." In addition to enhancing short-term financial security, debt reduction puts recipients in a better position to handle any future economic downturns by requiring less interest payments each month. The $2,000 can have a compounding effect on their future finances. It is also anticipated that a sizable amount of the stimulus money would be used for essential house repairs and accessibility upgrades. Many beneficiaries of Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and VA own their own houses, but find it difficult to pay for significant maintenance. Emily Johnson, an 82-year-old VA beneficiary, said, "My roof has been leaking for over a year, but I just haven't had the money to get it fixed. This $2,000 is going to allow me to finally hire a contractor and stop the water damage." In a similar vein, disabled people might use the funds to enlarge doors, add wheelchair ramps, or upgrade their home's accessibility. These kinds of improvements can significantly raise beneficiaries' quality of life and enable them to age in place safely. Some recipients want to utilize a portion of their $2,000 payments to accumulate emergency savings in addition to paying for immediate needs. This offers a vital safety net for unforeseen costs such as auto repairs or medical expenditures. 68-year-old SSI recipient M. Davis stated, "I've been meaning to start an emergency fund for years, but it's been so hard living paycheck to paycheck on my Social Security. This $2,000 is the perfect opportunity to put some money aside for a rainy day." For people on fixed incomes, even a tiny emergency savings account can make a big impact. When something unexpected occurs, it helps avert financial crises and the need to accrue expensive debt. "Due to the expense, I haven't been able to visit my family in over a year," stated John Williams, a 75-year-old Social Security beneficiary.